How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and I am back with another PSA submission video. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I recently got enough cards in that I want to grade, so I re-upped my membership. So this is my 15 card submission that you get when you re-up with the Platinum membership. Platinum membership, I think, is $200 in order to re-up, but you get 15 free, quote-unquote, grades. And you get access to all the specials for a year, so I think it's a pretty good deal. The 15 free grades on their own are fairly worth it because they get them done fairly quickly. It's a 10-day turnaround, I think, so you get your grades pretty quickly. So I really like that. So that's why I do the 15 instead of the 6, which is like $100. But yeah, so here are the cards I'm going to be sending in. Show all of them off one by one, say what I expect to get for grades, why I'm submitting them. First off, we got a Sylveon GX Hyper Rare. This is a absolutely beautiful card. I am so happy to have pulled this out of my Guardians Rising booster box. I usually don't like the Hyper Rares, but with Sylveon, I think it really fits the Pokemon design. And yeah, just like, look at that in the light, the shimmer and shine, beautiful. And we take a look at the back. This card is Gem Mint. I'm really expecting a 10 off of this card. All the cards that I pulled from our Guardians Rising booster box are mint as can be, so I'm very happy for that. I will be sending off a few more in a later submission probably, but this was sort of the big card that I pulled out of that booster box, so I want to send this one off. Definitely going to be a money card if it does manage to score the PSA 10 grade. Next up, another sort of awesome card that I pulled out of my Guardians Rising booster box, which I am sending in, the Lightning Energy Secret Rare. Originally thought I was going to put this in my Tapu Koko GX deck, but then I looked at the back and saw that it was near perfect. Figured it would look better in a PSA graded case. Again, just like all the other cards in my Guardians Rising booster box, this is mint as can be. So really hoping for a Gem Mint 10 to come out of this card. Next up, I've had Dark Dragonite Hollows for a while. I really love this card, and I've had a couple for a while. I haven't gotten around to grading them. I graded one a while back and it got a 9, and then I sold it and it went for like $45, which is a fairly good price for a PSA 9 Hollow card. So really hoping that this one comes back as a 10. As you can see the back, there's really not much wrong with this card. Maybe a little nick here in the corner, but other than that, this card is just beautiful. So even if it gets a 9, sell it for 40-something bucks, not bad at all. Next up, I have the card that I really, really want. This is like, if one of these three, I'm submitting 3 of this card, and if any of them come back as a 10, I'm going to be happy. It is the Kingdra EX from Japanese Dragon Frontiers. This is the last card that I need to complete my Dragon Frontiers EX set in a PSA 10. We'll go through each of the cards individually. This is the first one. I think it's possibly the worst condition. There is a tiny little scratch on the card. You can barely see it, but it's right there. I'll put my thumb right next to it. Maybe you guys can see it there in the light. Yeah, so right there, right where my thumb is, there's a tiny little scratch. You really have to look at it just the right way in order to see it, but if PSA picks up on it, that's probably going to knock this card down to a 9. Again, it's incredibly small and hard to see, so who knows, they could look at this and say that it's a Gem Mint 10. So I'd be totally fine with that. These next 2 ones, I've pretty much gone through my collection. I've bought so many of these cards, and I picked out the best looking ones to send in. The centering is perfect on this one. I think it's got a tiny little ding there in the corner. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can see that. Just a tiny little bit of whitening. Again, not sure if that'll knock it down from the 10 grade to the 9, but like I said, these all have very small, tiny little flaws on them. So if they all don't come back 10s, that'll be pretty painful, but I could understand it. It's not like I'm sending in 1000% mint cards. These are so difficult to find mint. Here's another one. These all have great centering, which is nice, but this has a tiny bit of whitening at the top. It's just barely there. Again, really hoping that PSA he sees that and decides that it's not not worthy of knocking it down to a 9. Next up, another card from Japanese Dragon Frontier is the Salamence EX. This is a very mint copy, looking awesome here. I've had this for about a year. I haven't graded it just because I think I have the only PSA 10 copy of this card right now, and I kind of wanted to keep it that way. But now that getting the Kingdra has become so hard, and I've heard of some people who have mint copies, so I figure if I can grade this a 10 and they grade their Kingdra a 10, maybe I can trade them for it. Yeah, so just to have a nice bargaining piece if someone does manage to grab that Kingdra in a 10, as I'm sure most people would prefer having the Salamence over the Kingdra. But again, a beautiful card, and even if the Kingdra's, even if I can't get a trade, I'll be happy to keep that in my card, and keep that card in my collection for a long time. Next up, Sceptile EX from Miracle Crystal. This is a mint as can be card. Very, very nice. Very happy that I was able to pick this card up in such good condition. Just wonderful. Very happy about that card. Let's see, what do we got left? Blissey EX from Golden Sky Silvery Ocean. I do already have this card in a PSA 10. I don't know if I have it in first edition PSA 10, so it'll be nice to upgrade that. I don't really care if it's first edition or unlimited, but again, this is just a beautiful card. And anytime you can get a mint condition Japanese EX card, you should just grade it, get it in that 10. They're so hard to find mint that really getting any of them in a 10 is a great accomplishment. Getting multiples in a 10 can never hurt. Of course, I can always sell that card if I want to make back some money. First edition Flygon EX, I don't know if I might have 2 of this already. This could be my 3rd. I haven't gone through the collection to see exactly how many copies of this card I have, but I know it's more than 1. But yeah, can't hurt to have another one. Again, another mint card, hoping that it comes back as a 10 would be very nice. Next up, we got 2 cards that I do not have in 10s that I really, really would like to have these come back as 10s. As you'd think these cards wouldn't be very hard to find, just Chansey and Hitmonchan EX, but man, finding the mint is difficult. So very happy that I could find these in mint condition. They rarely pop up on eBay too, so yeah, like the really early EX cards don't pop up on eBay much. So happy to grab these in mint condition, hoping PSA agrees with my condition assessments and gives these the Gem Mint 10 grade. And last but not least, we have a couple full arts from the black and white era. I love black and white era full arts. These are cards that I've been wanting to get in a 10 for a long time. So Kyogre EX, very, very beautiful card. I just love it. I have the Groudon in a PSA 10 already, so hoping that we can get the Kyogre in a 10 to match. Got a Darkrai EX full art. I do already have this in a PSA 10, but I saw it on eBay at just a price that I couldn't pass up, so I figure I'll grade another one. And just look at that full art pattern there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. With the upcoming Darkrai GX, I'm hoping to get both the Japanese and English versions in a 10. So if that Darkrai full art grades a 10, maybe I can sell that or trade that for a Darkrai GX. And last but not least, the 15th card is Keldeo EX full art. Beautiful, beautiful card there. Oops, looks like I never took off the... So you can see how much I paid for the card. 700 yen, not bad. But this is a beautiful, beautiful card. Absolutely love it. Haven't been able to find a mint copy in a while. Again, like, look at that full art pattern. Just wonderful. Just so nice looking. Really think these cards are a little bit underrated for what they're selling for. Eventually, I assume they're going to go up in price as people realize how bad the GX full arts are with their boring, solid backgrounds. Yeah, so there we go. That's my PSA submission for this year. We'll do a quick card fan here so you guys can see all of the cards that I'm sending off. Do a nice thumbnail there. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in about 2 weeks, I think, with the return It'll take them 7 to 10 days in order to run these through their system, and plus shipping time should take about 2 weeks before I have these back in hand. So you'll see the grades in about 2 weeks. So again, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for more videos.